Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, good evening and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most let's start that again. The voice of football's most famous stand. There we go. I'm messing up. The team are messing up. But one man who never messes up. And there's me messing up. Right, let's just get him on. Save the chat. Mr. Grizz Khan, he's struggling with a cold today, but he's here nonetheless. We love that. We love the dedication. A lot more than was shown last night, my brother. How are you, first and foremost?
I'm okay, man. A bit of a cold. Liverpool didn't help, but your little mess up of an intro helped. They cheered me up. I don't know if you heard me laughing in the background.
Yeah, I did. When I brought you on, yeah, a lot of laughter. Great.
But yeah, I wasn't feeling too good, but I'll never say no to you. You're my brother, man. What's happening?
We love that. Yeah, I'm all good, man. All good. Big shout out to Nike. Got the old new training gear in the post this morning, Grizz. So,
amazing.
Do you know what? I was in half a mind whether to even put it on tonight after the performance last night, and I'm guessing that's pretty much what everyone is going to come to this stream and talk about and want to know what's in your mind. I mean, listen, the dust has settled after our first ever defeat in 4 years or 3 years and 10 months. We've had a day to kind of think about it, to let the pain kind of set in. What's your opinion on the whole thing in general about what's going on right now and last night?
So in general, it's a bit mad, isn't it? Because we've been riding on this crest of of happiness, elation as Liverpool fans for the last 3-4 years, haven't we? And it's like we're finally back to like what it's like to be a normal fan. For like for other clubs, it's like we finally feel like what it's like to be a fan, a normal fan, as opposed to Liverpool fans, because we didn't give a shit about anything. The games we were looking forward to, win after win, champion mentality, all that business, and now there's a lot of us that are dreading the next game, dreading games. I mean, it's alien to us. So when people ask how do we feel or how do I feel, it's pretty mad. I don't remember what it feels like to be like how it feels like to be fans of other clubs. Do you know what I mean? Like ups and downs, but yeah, it was bad last night, Alex. There's no fucking beating around the bush. It was bad. It was pretty dire, especially I was going to say especially that first half, but second half we seem to get even worse. It's more than a blip, and we need to. The only way we're going to get our way out of it, is like Klopp said, is just to keep working hard, and the players are not suddenly become bad players. We know that now. They haven't become bad players overnight, but yeah, we're in a bit of a rut.
Mate, I kind of wanted to dismiss the thought that it was maybe even a bit worse than a rut. I think we knew it was that. But last night on my stream, anyway, it turned from this was maybe an anomaly 3 or 4 games. Now it's a crisis. And is that fair to say? I mean, pretty much everyone on my stream last night ended up the show saying top 4 is the aim now. How has it changed that quickly? This is depressing to talk about, bro. I wish we were smiling. I can't lie.
Yeah. Look, we have to keep smiling. I'm smiling far more than I was yesterday on our show. Reaction on the Trippers show, and a bit like everyone else, just mad. Absolute spitting feathers. But the thing is, right? It's because it's such a mad season. You can't write anything and anyone off. So in the same way, it's a mad season how we're losing 7-2 to Villa, and then now we're losing to Burnley at home. Man City have lost 5-2 to Leicester and drawn games like West Bromwich where you didn't. Man United got thumped 6-2. So there's mad results everywhere. And the fact that it's such a mad season gives me the slight hopes that we're not completely out of it. What's not giving me the hope is the way we're playing. More than anything, do you know what I mean? It's we've got to stop looking at how many points we're behind X, how many points behind Y. We've just got to go back proper old school and that old cliche. We just got to keep focusing on one game, win that game. And this is such a mad table and season that a couple of wins later, you're back up there again. It's just that we don't know where the next, forget win, we don't know where the next goal is coming from, which is unheard of, but it is what it is right now.
So the title of this video is WTF is going on, man. That's the answer to you, Grizz. I mean, can we blame it on Klopp? Can we blame it on FSG? Can we blame it on the lack of transfers? Can we blame it on the injuries? What is going on, and when will it get fixed? I kind of look to you to be the voice of reason. I can't lie. I mean, throughout all the shit that you have to wade through on the timeline when Liverpool play, for me, you're a confining voice. And like whenever something like this does happen, no, but I think many people feel the same, that whenever something does happen that's bad, there's always Grizz Khan's Twitter account to go on there, and maybe things aren't so bad. So I don't know. Am I overreacting? What is going on?
It's what fans do, isn't it? What are we? We're fans, and so we're reactionary. People say, we shouldn't be so reactionary, but then we wouldn't be fans. Do you know what I mean? We would be working for the club or employed by the club or play for the club. So as fans, we're totally entitled to be reactionary, and we can only react to what we see. And when we see shit, we have to call it shit. When we see good, we call it good. But when you see sort of the kind of shit that we've seen for the first time in Klopp's tenure since we've been good, when you see 4 or 5 games in a row of shit, then you got to start looking into why, and if there's a bigger cause, or is it just a blip? And you got to, and you asked, and the first thing you said is, who do we blame? Like, sort of, because you always got. You don't have to blame someone, but there is always a reason for the dip, and you can sort of say it's a combination of all those things that you've mentioned, a culmination of lack of transfer activity, rotation of squad, the fucking dire injury situation we had at the start of the season, and as a result, we're paying for that now. See, many people, a lot of opposition fans are saying, only Virgil's injured. At your first team. Well, no, it doesn't quite work like that. Even though Virgil's the best centre back in the world, and any club would miss him. As a result of those injuries that we've had up till now, like I think 13 or 14 injuries we've had to constantly change the team, constantly play the same players, and it's kind of sort of a lot of those players that have played so many games are feeling really tired and fatigued now, and. It's not an excuse, it's an actual reason, it's actual fact. And the quicker we try to understand that, it may make us feel slightly better, Alex.
Yeah, you say it so well, and it has definitely calmed me down. I mean, it got to the point last night where I was pretty sure, and please, give me a shout if you disagree with this. As soon as Divock Origi missed that chance, the game was lost. In my head, I just knew we weren't going to score after that.
But that's the thing. See,
But that's what this is. This is the thing. It's like I knew then. How did I know that we shouldn't be like that? But because we just haven't scored and there's completely no confidence, I just thought, oh, okay, well, that's Burnley have beaten us. They've done it. They've broken our unbeaten record. I was that unconfident.
I wasn't thinking that's us lost. But I was struggling to see us scoring, I'll admit. And the reason for that is because of the previous 3-4 games. The opposition hasn't been amazing. We've actually done well against the fucking better team, driving a lot of fans crazy. But we just suddenly lost all confidence in especially up front. We look tired. And where we always used to look stronger in the second half or near the end of the games, we look tired. We run out of ideas, and that's so unlike Klopp team. The selection was a bit scrambled yesterday. I couldn't for the life of me work out why Divock Origi suddenly come out from semi-retirement and suddenly leading the line in such a crucial game, because because it was. If he played on Sunday, I wouldn't have given a shit, Alex, in the FA Cup against Man United. But the fact that Klopp picked him in a crucial league game where we needed 3 points for confidence, for to move up the table, to go 3 points behind the league leaders. Do you know what I mean? It was imperative that he picks. I get him freshening up the strike force because we haven't scored, but the fact that he took out 2 at the same time, and that one of the replacements was Origi and not Minamino, who's on his last performance done very well, I couldn't work out. And only Klopp will know why he done that. You know, we always say he knows best, but there are moments and phases in even the world's best coaches where not only do their players have sort of breakdowns in form, mental fatigue, emotional fatigue, but coaches have the same, you know, and it seems like Klopp is having his Liverpool one this month.
Is there a shout, Grizz, to say that if things don't go well over this next 2-month period of 8 games, where, I mean, you've seen the fixture list, Leipzig home and away, there's City there, there's the Everton at home. I mean, if it carries on going like this, and listen, not for 1 minute am I saying anything remotely about me wanting this to happen. Obviously, we all want to get back to normal. But what's the future if things don't go well after these 8 games?
Oh, well, first
I mean,
and
listen,
foremost,
none of us want that to happen, of course.
Yeah,
let's say that again.
no, well, you know, nothing's gonna. If you're sort of trying to get my opinion on sort of if Klopp's job's under threat, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Doesn't matter what he does. He's got enough credit in the bank, as far as I'm concerned, to not even think about that, regardless of the results. But it's going to get better. It has to get better. It will get better. We won't get on this. We won't. This downward trajectory is temporary, in my opinion. We need Diogo Jota back urgently. He started off like a house on fire. He was one of the reasons. He was one of the players that was supposed to rectify the staleness that we've got currently up front, and it just so happens that he fucking got injured as well in a meaningless game, which you can sort of get angry at Klopp or frustrated at Klopp. So yeah, we need him back, you know, by the end of the month or early February. We need the rest of the players to come back. Look, it's mad how we get one player back and then the other one goes out. Naby's been out for months. Ox has only recently come back. Matip's in and out of the team. Matip comes back and then our captain goes out injured. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Outsiders from our club won't get that. Other clubs' fans won't get that. They will look at the 11 we got on the pitch and say, "Oh, come on, that's very decent." But we as Liverpool fans, that we've had to you know, go through the most injury-ravaged period that I can fucking remember, Alex. Like, this is season in injury-wise, it's been horrible. And they're facts. They're not excuses. It's facts. Look, we haven't had Naby. We haven't had Thiago. We haven't had 3 centre-backs. Like, forget Matip. Matip plays like 1 in 3, but 3 centre-backs, you know, and take out Thiago and take out 4 or 5 players of the caliber we've had missing from any team. And they'd probably do far worse than we have. Some may even say, considering all the COVID, Trent had COVID, Salah had COVID, you know, as I said, Thiago, Hendo, Naby, Ox, all out at various times. We're relying on Simicast, but okay, we haven't relied on it too much. We've got our best DM playing at centre-back, our captain and skipper playing at centre-back. You put a lot of that situation on a lot of teams, and I don't think men be like within 5 seconds of the top, Alex. And that's, you know, testimony to you know, where we are and where we've been under Klopp. We've still got that about us, that we're not totally out of it. I know people don't like looking past the immediate, but we have to give it context. This team deserves our support, man. They've given me the best time of my life as a Liverpool fan. and millions of others as well. I'm sure you as well. This team is we love it for a reason, and now's not the time to give up on it, or now's not the time to sort of not support. What's that old famous saying? If you can't
support them when they're losing, don't support them when they're winning.
Do you know what I mean? So we can't just suddenly throw our toys out the pram. We could be frustrated. We can effing blind it within our mates and sort of our own confines of our home, and even do the odd tweet saying, but we should sort of give it a bit of context with calm heads and say, look, we're not suddenly fucking the worst team in the country or whatever. We're still a couple of wins away from the so-called Premier League champions-elect Man United. But we've had the worst start. We've had the worst period in 4 years in the club, whereas they're having their best period in 4 years. Yet we're 2 wins away from them. So it shows you levels. Come on, let's not go mad. Like, we're literally a couple of wins away from the Premier League champions-elect. So everyone thinks. So, but yeah, so it's not all doom and gloom, but I get it. It is a difficult period, and we have to deal with it. As a fan, we get. Look, I'm sure you as well. I've muted all my Twitter and everything, and all my socials, WhatsApps as well. You can imagine, can't you? We've never. They've been waiting for 4 years, for 3 years for this moment, for a blip. Let's get that right. They've been waiting for a blip, not for, like, we're not in a relegation fight or we're not in a relegation zone. They've just been waiting for a blip for 3 years. So it shows you where we're at. Do you know what I mean? Waiting for a blip. All right, we've had a blip.
Yeah, of course we'll come back. Listen, we are going to talk about the Man United preview. If you do have any questions for Grizz, then do let us know in the comments. And if you definitely want your question read out, then do make it a super chat, and obviously everything will be very much appreciated there. You mentioned obviously the stale front three, no goals for the front three or any Liverpool player in 70 odd shots now. Somehow we're still top scorers in this division, which is wild. But there's a question here that I wanted to ask you from Stephen, I think it was, and we'll bring that up now. Stephen O'Connor. Hello, lads. Do you think Carroll was right about our team being so good for 3 to 4 years that it's starting to reach the end of its cycle, or is this just bad form, or a mixture of both? I mean, those three up front, we have relied on them really since Mane and Bobby were there 2016. Mo jumps on in 2017. It's probably about 4 years now that we've had them there, Grizz.
Yeah, it's the longest the strike force has been together. I think Monday Night Football was showing that, weren't they? That normally a strike force, a Premier League winning strike force, only sort of stays together for 2 years. I think that was the maximum, or was it maximum 3 or 1 or 2? Sorry, 2 or 3. And this is our 4th season, as you say. This is our 4th season. So yeah, I'm of the opinion we should have refreshed our strike force more. I know we got Jota in this summer, but I thought we were lacking another forward. But obviously we weren't able to get rid of Origi and Shaq and the like. We didn't replace Brewster. We used Brewster's money sort of towards Jota. But yeah, it's fair. It's a fair shout to say that they are looking stale, and maybe it is an end of a cycle as far as the front lads are concerned. I wouldn't say it's the end of the cycle as a team. We're still good. We're still very good, and I'm sure we'll prove it in the latter part of the season. But as a trio, as a strike force, I think there's plenty of evidence to say that it's the end of a cycle, and it probably does need a bit of refreshing now.
Yeah, a couple other questions in the comments here asking Grizz pretty similar question about should we refresh the front three. Keep getting your questions in. We will come back to those at the end. But here is the preview then for Sunday then, Grizz. I mean, I actually learned the other day that it's been 100 years since we beat Manchester United away in the FA Cup. Hopefully that 100-year curse will be lifted on Sunday. I mean, it's probably the game. Many people would say it would be a great game for us to have now. A lot of people would say, not maybe the best one to have straight after a loss like that. But how do you see Sunday going? And we will look into it with the preview, but then we'll also put together our combined predicted 11 as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a different competition, and you hope that a different competition brings sort of a different approach, mentality change. I think far less pressure than in the Premier League. I do anticipate a lot of changes, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be as weak as we have done in previous cup rounds, but it won't be our full strength. Especially we've got Spurs 3-4 days later. But yeah, look, yeah, maybe it's a bit more significant for us now. It's fucking weird, isn't it? But maybe it's more significant for us than for United. Like maybe their aspirations have changed now towards the league. Suddenly, you think they're in with the chance for a league, and so they may be looking towards resting a few players more than they would have probably usually. And maybe it's the opposite for us. Now we're thinking the FA Cup, the Champions League. That's our best chance of a trophy. So yeah, I think the players should be and will be motivated for the very fact that it's Man United. And secondly, we need something to kickstart, us again. We seem to be really down, and we need something to kickstart us. So it could be this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I remember some huge FA Cup ties against United down the years. There was that one when we were 1-0 up. I think it was 99, and then they scored 2 in the last 5 minutes. I think Solskjaer and York maybe. There was that one at Anfield and Peter Crouch scores a header, 1-0 to us. Dirk Kuyt scored against them in the FA Cup down the years. I remember Michael Owen getting sent off in one of these. So it's going to be a feisty one. I mean, if the fans were around for this one, you can guarantee it would have been an absolute belter to be inside for. But we haven't really, in all comps, to be honest, Grizz, played well. We have played well, but we haven't won for a while, some time. At Old Trafford. I mean, it would be nice to get one over on them. And I think if we did get through to the next stage, the big teams are still in it. So we'd probably get someone big in the next round. In terms of a lineup prediction, is this one where Alisson fits straight in?
Yeah, I don't see us resting Alisson. I think the form he's shown as well. He's one of the shining lights. Unfortunately, we'd rather he wasn't, which would mean we're not, in a position where he's making saves. But he does. He seems to be making a couple of brilliant saves every game. But yeah, Alisson, I think we changed the fullbacks for certain. I think both fullbacks are rested.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. Both fullbacks will be rested. I think Tsimikas on the bench is a boost, so I think he will start. And I think Nico will come in at right back. But it's at centre back where we've got the issues, and it's a centre back where we I don't know how we're going to do this. I really don't. Do we risk Matip again? Do we risk Fabinho again? Not much rest for Fabinho, bless him. But I think we go strong in centre back. My money would be on I think we rest Matip, keep him fresh for Spurs. And I think probably one of the youngsters comes alongside him. My guess would be Reece Williams comes alongside Fabinho at the back. Don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I mean, there has been this case for either Reece Williams or Nat Phillips when there is an injury to Matip. I've always been on the Nat Phillips side, to be honest with you. Just over recent weeks, I think if you're playing United away in the FA Cup, listen, there's obviously no fans there, but that atmosphere can still get on top of someone. And I think just with his age, and his numbers, I'd go, numbers of professional games played, I'd just head towards Nat Phillips on this one, and the aerial ability as well. Nice to have someone tall. But, I mean, would you be let down if you saw the team sheet and it had Fabinho and Nat Phillips?
Yeah, they've been fine. I mean, look, I don't think either of them have got a long-term career at Liverpool, but they've when they've stepped in, they've been fine. They haven't been too bad. So yeah, I don't want to sort of be too critical of them, but I don't know. I think Reece Williams. I'd just favour Reece Williams over Phillips because he's the better footballer out of the two. even though sort of Phillips has done all right, especially against teams that are sort of strong in the air.
Yeah.
But I think this is a kind of game that we're gonna see. Saying that, I'm playing it with my head, and I'm thinking, Reece Williams ain't quick either. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I
He
was gonna
got
say,
done by Louis Barry.
so that'd be in his mind, that'd be in his head. But we literally haven't got any other options. I just can't see Matip being risked again. For the fact that it was only 2 days ago that we played, and then we got Spurs 4 days later. So it's pretty certain that we have to rely on one of them, and I'd just go Williams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll go for that. In the midfield, is this one where Curtis Jones maybe starts the game as a Scouser local lad?
Yeah, I think that he's nailed on. He's been taken out of the team since he made that. He gave away that pass that led to the corner in the West Bromwich game.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Young players are fine to be taken out of the firing line. It's not a problem. But I think he comes in back in for this one. Alongside him, well, I suppose it depends on Henderson's fitness. I don't think he'd be risked if he's 50-50. Do we go Thiago again? How much can we rely on playing Thiago every 2-3 days as well? He's come back from a significant injury as well. And Ginny's played every single minute since fucking football started, it seems.
Since time began, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Milner will come into the midfield. Oh, there you go. Derwin Jones agrees. I think Milner and Jones. And I think Milner, Jones, and I think we can afford to play Shaq again because he hasn't played much football. But
that's a good shout. I like that, especially for this game.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to play against Spurs. I don't think he's going to be in the team for Spurs. I think Henderson's going to be back for that game. So I think I'd go Shaq, Milner, and Curtis Jones in the midfield.
Shaq, Milner, and Curtis Jones up front. I mean, is this game one where he goes, right, I'm not messing around anymore? We go with the big three up front, but then again, they've been so lackluster recently. Is this another one where even after last night's result, you can go, I can afford to change it up? But if they don't score again, his decisions will come under the light.
Actually, I've changed my mind on the midfield. I think Ox is going to be in the midfield instead of Shaq.
Okay.
I think Ox will be in the midfield instead of Shaq. And I think Bobby, Salah, and Shaq. Sorry, Bobby, Salah, and will be the front three. We're looking to set up. I think Minamino is going to come back in on instead of Mane, and Bobby, because he didn't play against who did we play? Burnley, and Mo is going to come back in the team. So I think Minamino, Bobby, and Mo leading the line, and then you got Ox, Jones, and Milner as the number 6. I think that's how we'll set up, to be honest with you. In fact, I think I'm pretty convinced that's how we're going to set up. But we'll see. Whether Man United go strong, I think they're going to rotate as well. I think the likes of Van der Beek and Greenwood are going to come into the team, and you never know. This could be the game that sparks us and gets us going. Do you know what I mean? It's as I said, I don't think we'll have much pressure on us. Totally away from the pressure and the heat of the Premier League. And it's a chance to sort of just play the old heavy metal football of Klopp without any fear, without any, do you know what I mean? What we're used to. So I think it will be a cracker, on Sunday. I know a couple of people are saying it's 0-0. I don't see this one being 0-0 now, not at all.
Yeah, and Dicko saying Alisson, Nico, Hendo. It looks like they're at centre back with is that Nico Williams or is that Nico and Reece Williams? Tsimikas, Jones, Milner. Jones is there twice, to be fair, Ant. I'm not sure what you've got there.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Brady, Alisson, Nico, Matip, Phillips, Robbo, Thiago, Fabinho, Shaq. Got Fabi in the middle there. Minamino, Mane, and Salah.
Surprised we got that strong, yeah.
I mean, if we do come away with a win and we go through to the next round on Sunday, make no mistake about it, that is a huge confidence boost. Whatever competition it is, if it was the Milk Cup, the bloody Starburst Cup, it would still be a big buzz to win away there. And I think win at Old Trafford, give Tottenham a huge performance on Thursday. You then beat who have we got next Sunday? Is it
Brighton? I think Brighton and then West Ham, or West Ham and
right? And
Brighton.
then suddenly you win those 3 or 4 in a row, and all of a sudden the season is back on its head again, and all of a sudden Liverpool charging back to the top. But I think it all does start with Sunday, and as insignificant as some people may think it is, an FA Cup game, this is actually season defining. I would say how we respond to a loss at home to Burnley.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with what you said there. You know, it can start Sunday. People, you know, I think it's picked up in significance. If you asked me 5-6 weeks ago, honestly couldn't give a shit about the FA Cup. I really couldn't. But the circumstances are, as you say, that, you know, this could be the pick me up game that we all craved and needed, you know, and the players.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We need to win this one, Grizz. We need to win this one.
Yeah, it's always good to beat them. I think, you know, we beat them. Didn't we beat them in the Europa semi-final? Was it when Coutinho scored that? Or was it a draw in the?
That was 1-1, and then we beat them
1-1.
2-0 at Anfield.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Scored a penalty.
Yeah, so this could go penalties as well, doesn't it? It's because the tie's got to be decided on the night.
Straight to pens.
Yeah. So I think we're going to surprise a few people on Sunday. I think we're going to put in a good performance. I've got positive vibes. I really do. I think we're gonna come out with an absolute total different mentality and a freshness about us. And let's see.
Yeah, Ant says we need to shut them up. I mean, a lot of Man U fans have been on the Sky Sports. They've done the rounds. I mean, every time Flex uploads something at the minute, he tags me. I'm sure Rance is the same for you. They love it, and I think for United fans looking at us, Grizz, they obviously haven't seen us in this kind of situation for, like you said, 3 or 4 years. They must have been waiting, like you said, waiting for that blip.
Yeah, they've all come out from under the rocks, and this is what happens, isn't it? They've all come out like looking like ghouls and, you know, unshaven for 4 years from under their tunnels, you know. And suddenly they're shouting in the basements and tunnels. Yeah, man, they've come out, and fair play to them. You know, they haven't had much to shout about. You know, they've been a laughing stock for a number of years now. So, you know, if they think that, you know, suddenly the roles are reversed, and, you know, I say carry on, because they're going to on their faces. Carry on.
Yeah. OL. It's Old Trafford, tough place. It will be a tight game. Don't forget, as soon as the game is over on Sunday, you can join us here on the Kop TV for all that post-match reaction goodness. Grizz, I'm going to let you go, bro. Before you do, though, let's get a score prediction for Sunday. I know you're wanting dinner, and I'm going to go.
I'm actually going to go 1-1, and we win on penalties, and that would be so lovely. It would be so lovely beating them on penalties.
It would be, wouldn't it? There you go. There's the main man's prediction for Sunday. Take care, my brother. Enjoy your meal. And if you want, you can obviously follow Grizz in the description below here. And he's on Day Trippers all the time. He's on the gas tank on 90 Minutes all the time as well. And he's a top fella. And we'll see you back on the channel soon, my friend.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure, Alex. Nice one.
Right, guys. Take care. We'll see you on Sunday. All the best.